With Shango and Grizz show after a wonderful week off, man. How'd you enjoy your week, man?
Well, I had the Cowboys off and I had my college team Georgia Tech on a bye. So last weekend was, joyless in the football region, especially after Cleveland won their game.
Yeah, man. I was so. I mean, you should have seen me last night. I was so mad at that Cleveland game. The Cleveland game coupled with the fact that I lost every one of my fantasy teams lost. And those are just bad weeks for me.
Well, check it out, man. I played two of my worst lineups in fantasy I've ever put out because of the bye week and injury.
Yeah.
And I won both games.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's cool. But with Cleveland, if Cleveland beats Seattle, my hopes of getting a top draft pick are gone. I'm not even going to think about it anymore.
Yeah, we can just let them go and not root against them so hard every week.
Exactly. I'm done rooting against them. And something, Brady Quinn needs to get in the game somehow. I don't know how, but Brady Quinn needs to play the game.
We're not suggesting injuries to Derek Anderson or anything untoward to him. No.
We wouldn't do that. All right. It is Eagle Week, man. 11 out of the last 14 times we played these boys, they have handed our asses to us.
It's tough, man. It's tough to sit there and have to listen to those guys talk all the time because they have had the upper hand lately, even though we know that their trophy case is empty while we're sporting 5 over in our little trophy case.
That's true.
But because they keep winning the division, we have to listen to them talk. So I'm so ready to shut them up this week.
Yeah. All right. How do we stop them? Particularly, how do we stop Westbrook?
Yeah, you got to get Westbrook under control. He's the key. He kills us all the time. And it's the same thing with the guy. It's the draws. It's the screens. It's the shovel passes. It's all unorthodox running game that they use instead of most teams use the traditional running frame. Now, I watched their game from last week, and when they try to do traditional running plays, I formation, offset I, they're no good. They stink.
Yeah.
But when they run him on draws and get him on those screens and the flare patterns in the flats, that's when he's dangerous. Linebackers have to be aware of everywhere Westbrook goes. If he slides out for that screen pass, you got to be with him. You got to stay on him.
Yeah. I don't think there's any way to stop Brian Westbrook. I think he is the modern, when Marshall Faulk was at his peak, I think that's where Westbrook is now. I just think we just need to keep him out of the end zone, keep him from putting points on that board, because if he starts killing you, and he can go on a roll where he can score 3 touchdowns in a game easily, then we're in trouble. Now, what do you think about McNabb at this point?
Well, I watched the game last week that everybody was talking about, and he did look better. He looked more mobile. Yeah. He slid out of the pocket and threw a couple of nice throws on the run that really benefited the Eagles' offense at some opportune times. But, there wasn't a whole lot special going on there. I mean, he was just hitting guys who were open. We know the Vikings' defense struggles to cover receivers. They struggled with the Eagles' receivers. But you have to admit, watching that film, he does look a lot better than he did in the first few weeks this season.
Yeah. He doesn't look good. He's clearly not the McNabb of old. The thing that worries me is that he is a dink and dunker. He's not throwing the ball down the field as much as, he did when he had number 81. But as long as we keep giving those cushions to the receivers, he's going to eat us up down the field. So I'm wondering if we're going to play some press this week or, get closer to that line, because I don't think Donovan McNabb can throw it far, and I don't think those receivers can get separation, down the field.
Well, I think Dallas, if you're looking at playing the Eagles, the Cowboys defense, I'm going to make them beat me with their wide receivers. Those are the guys who are going to have to beat me. I'm not going to let Westbrook beat me. So I'm going to have linebackers flying Westbrook everywhere he goes. And I'm going to give the Eagles receivers, maybe that 7 to 8 yard, the 10-yard pass in front of me I'm not going to let Curtis get behind me because he's got the speed to do it. But really, I mean, I'm making those guys beat me. Westbrook is not going to beat me.
Right. Agreed. All right, what do we need to do to them to get some points on the board?
You got to be strong up the middle. You got to protect the A gap. They love to blitz right over the top of the center. And they work in a variety of combinations. Sometimes they'll rush one guy up the middle. Sometimes they'll rush two of them right there. Sometimes they'll fake it back out and bring you cornerback blitz around the edge. So while you're all thinking about the A gap, Lito Shepard's coming around your edge and whacking your quarterback. So you have to be strong in the middle. Andre Gerard has got to understand the calls he needs to make in the middle. And the backs in the backfield, Barber and Jones, have to make sure about who they're picking up in the blitzes. They have to make the correct reads because that's what they like to do. They like to confuse the line. They like to confuse the backs, have two guys end up blocking one guy while another guy comes right around the edge and kills your quarterback. So the reads by the line and the running backs are crucial in this game.
Yeah, that's one thing that is a definite when you play the Eagles. They will blitz you, and that's the one thing that frustrates me the most is every game that we played them in that last 11 out of 14 when Jimmy Johnson was the defense coordinator, we cannot figure out how to stop the blitz. I mean, I don't know what it is. We don't look at enough tape. I don't know what it is, but we have to, like you said, Gerard's got to make the right calls. MB3 and JJ has to make the right pickups and things of that sort so we can get past. Also, I think that we need to employ a little bit of that dinking and dunking ourselves, especially if they're going to bring the blitz in that fast. Some short dumps to T.O., some short dumps to the running back. Just get some guys and let's pump up our rack yards, run after catch yards on these guys.
Yeah, and there's one other thing about the Eagles' defense is they're very aggressive, and they're very aggressive with their linebackers stopping the run, so you can get yards in the middle of the field. There tends to be an open spot in the middle of their defense, so watch for Jason Witten all game long to exploit that, just like he's done all year long. Nobody seems to be able to contain him in the middle of the field. Yeah,
Shango from the Vikings last week got like 50 or over 50 yards and a touchdown on this defense, and Witten equals like 9 Shankos.
Right.
So
good call, exactly.
That's the key. So that brings me to my question of the week, because since Jason Witten is the most valuable player in this game probably, how many touchdowns does he get? 2 or 1? Or no?
I'm only going to give him 1. You know why?
1? Okay.
Because I think T.O. wants 1. I think Romo wants to get him 1. And I think Wade Phillips a little bit wants to get him 1 too. So I'm going to give 1 over there to T.O., and that's going to take one of them away from Witten. So I'm only giving him 1 in the game.
I say Witten gets 2 and T.O. gets 1 and NB3 gets 1. I mean, we're scoring like crazy. Why not, spread it around like that?
I'm calling for the Sam Hurd touchdown this game. Sam Hurd, baby.
Do it, Sam. All right, man. We'll see you back. I'm glad to be back. I needed a week off, but I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to get the season back going. Let's do this. Let's get this second half of the season and get to playing some top-quality football into the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take that NFC East title back home to Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. See you on Monday.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.